Well, it hasn't been very long since I checked the hives, and really what I'm looking for is I'm looking to see if they started putting up stores for the winter. The cotton is starting to bloom, and there are lots and lots of blooms out there. So what I'm hoping for is to see them starting to putting up some honey. And I got lots of frogs in this one as usual. I think that's a good sign. In South America, frogs are lucky. So let's take a look. They got it propolized all the way back out to here. And I've got a small hive beetle in these hives, and they're spending a lot of time getting them herded to where they think they ought to be. So I'm going through here. And they're a little agitated. And they're coming out very aggressively as I'm opening up the hives. Later in the year they got more aggressive. They started out very docile. I'll crush this guy. And this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They haven't passed the 8th bar. Lots of bees in there. And they're putting, looks like they're building out new comb. This has got nectar across the top. But looks like there might be some brood down there, but I can't quite see it. The next bar is covered all the way across. There's an ant going out with a small hive beetle. Guess that's a good thing. I'm gonna take out one more bar just to look at it. Uh-oh, that really upset them. Yeah, they've gone. Yeah, they're bouncing off my veil. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to walk away with this for a second so they don't see me, and then I'm going to go put it back together. Okay, they settled down. That really upset them when I opened it up. And this bar is almost covered. They're adding new comb to the one side of it. And there's a couple of eggs that's been laid in there. But there's still no honey, so lots and lots of bees. Lots and lots of bees, but no honey. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still out to the 8th. There we go. So I'm just going to button this back up. That's that for this one. So this is not tight as it should be. So there's 3 tree frogs in there, jumping out left and right. Let's have a look at the other hive. As usual, you got lots of tree frogs, and they're very fat, so they're eating well. And let's see, don't do that in front of the hive, they're not like that much.
I'm trying to get the sun.
Man, they're really doing a pretty good job with the small hive beetles here.
Let's see it.
They're spending a lot of time herding those beetles around when they could be doing other constructive things. I've forgotten my hive tool. This is my roast knife that I've dulled down in a steel rod, and it really helps working on the hive. This guy must have just hatched, he can't fly. Okay, these guys seem to be doing a little better job. Can't tell if that's honey. It's certainly new comb. And I got one that's just all over my veil. If you can see it. Okay, that's full of nectar, which is a good sign. Oh, then this one is almost total honey, which is a good sign. I'm going to take that one out. Okay. I'd put some extra bars in here. We're starting to build out on that one. Clean that bar up real good. Well, this okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is almost all capped honey. And 8 is starting to build out a new bar. Let me get this out of here. Oh, they didn't like that. Sudden movements. Okay, the top of that is all capped honey on my side. As you can see where there were lots of drone broods, and if you look right here, you'll see a queen cell, and they're making another queen cell, and it's been capped.
You need me to come around that way?
No, I just need you to get right up on that queen cell again.
Where is it?
You see that thing sticking out? Looks like a peanut. You can't be on it. See that thing sticking out?
There.
Looks like a peanut.
Uh-huh.
That's a queen cell, and it's capped. And there's a drone cell down there. I could probably split this hive, which I may do. There's lots of bees. They don't like me much right now. Okay, there's honey all the way across the top, across this. And there's brood on here. This hive is doing a lot better job of putting away a little bit of honey. And they're noticeably smaller. I ought to measure it. See what my cell size is. I'm gonna look at one more frame. They don't like it much. Well, this is extremely heavy. And I don't know. Yeah, this side you're looking at now is capped honey across the top, which is good. You can see where there's old drone cells, and there's a lot of drones. There's a bee with pollen, so they're bringing in some pollen. I haven't seen the queen yet, but I know she's in here. Okay, they're doing a little better putting away pollen. I'm not going to open it up anymore. Okay, they're building out new wax out to 8. They got that capped queen cell. I may split this hive. Put it in a nuke. I don't like that very much. I need to get this guy. I'm going to take this beetle trap out of here. Needs to be they don't like that much. They're all over me. I guess they're programmed to herd beetles. Again, right there, let me crush. Okay, this was the hive I called Bertha. She's adding a little more wax out there to the 8th bar. And they got a little bit of honey across the top, and the one that looks like they're filling all the way up with honey. With this hive, they got no honey stores to speak of at all. I'll continue to check it in about a week. They know more about it. They're better at what they're doing than I am, I'm sure. And so, this ends another episode of Days of Our Hives.